At 42, I often find myself sifting through the memories of a decade-long marriage to Emma, now 41. We parted ways not with shouting matches or fiery ultimatums, but through the quiet unraveling that happens when disappointment settles into silence, when one wound too many goes unattended. At the center of it all was her daughter, Lily, now 17, my stepdaughter name. But for a long time, I believed my daughter in every way that mattered. When I entered Emma's life, Lily was just 7, a wide-eyed little girl with a cautious smile, and a father who treated parenting like an optional responsibility. He'd drift in and out, resurfacing now and then with a belated birthday gift or a phone call that barely lasted 5 minutes. He was a ghost of a father, unreliable and inconsistent, yet somehow still holding on to the title. From the start, I made it clear I wasn't trying to replace him, but I was committed. I showed up every day, not for recognition, but because I wanted to. I helped her with homework, cheered from the sidelines at swim meets, stayed up through the night when she had fevers or bad dreams. She slowly opened up, and one day, at 9 years old, she called me Dad. She said it like it had always been true. That single word carried more weight than I ever expected. It melted something inside me. I thought I had found something permanent in that moment. A few years later, I asked Emma if I could adopt Lily officially, not to claim her, but to honor what had grown between us. Her father refused, unwilling to give up rights he never used. Emma, trying to avoid a battle, asked me not to press. I backed down, believing that Lily knew where home truly was, and who had earned that place. For years, I paid for everything without question. Private school clothes, braces, summer trips, phones, therapy, whatever she needed. When Emma reduced her hours at work, I picked up the financial slack. It wasn't even a discussion. It was what family did. But everything began to change when Lily turned 15. At first, it was subtle. Fewer conversations, a colder tone, distant eyes. She stopped calling me Dad and returned to using my first name, as if erasing a chapter we'd written together. I told myself it was just teenage rebellion, that she was going through something. Emma said to be patient. "It's a phase," she whispered. I tried to believe her, but the coldness hardened into contempt. Lily would roll her eyes when I spoke, leave the room when I entered. One day I overheard her on a video call, laughing as she told a friend, "He's not my real dad. I just used to call him that to keep him happy." I can't describe how that felt. It was like being gutted without a blade. Still, I didn't confront her. I hoped, stupidly, that she'd come around. I kept trying, kept showing up. Then, one night, she stumbled to the front door at 2 a.m., drunk, defiant, and having driven herself home. My heart dropped. She could have died. Someone else could have. I didn't scream. I didn't lose control. I took her keys, grounded her, and told her we'd talk in the morning when she was sober. She exploded, shouting that I had no right to punish her, no authority over her life. And then, with cold, deliberate clarity, she stared me down and said, "Asterisk, you're not my real dad. You never were." Asterisk, that broke something in me. I walked away, not just from the argument, but from the role I had poured myself into for 10 years. The next morning, I told Emma I was done. Done pretending I was something to someone who openly rejected me. Done being disrespected in my own home. Done financing a life where I become invisible. I wasn't angry. I wasn't retaliating. I was reclaiming whatever pieces of myself I had left. I stopped paying Lily's private school fees. Let her finish her final year in public school. I canceled her phone plan, ended her car lease, a car I had fully paid for, and arranged for it to be returned. I pulled my name from every insurance document tied to her. She came home and found her car gone, her phone dead. She stormed into the house, demanding to know what was going on. I simply said, "Ask your real dad." Her face twisted with disbelief, then fury. She screamed, cried, called me heartless. I didn't flinch. I just left the room. Emma said I was being cruel, that I was punishing a teenager out of spite. I reminded her that I had given everything, my time, my money, my love, and received nothing but resentment in return. I reminded her that I had been a father while the man who held the title stayed absent. Our arguments grew frequent and loud. She knew I was right, but pride or guilt wouldn't let her admit she had failed to protect the family we had built. Eventually, I moved out. We tried a trial separation, but the distance only confirmed what we already knew. Our marriage had quietly bled out long ago. A few weeks ago, Emma asked to meet at our old cafe. She looked worn down, hair tangled, eyes puffy, like someone who hadn't slept in days. Then she told me something I didn't expect. Lily had moved in with her biological father. The man who had ghosted her for over a decade was now her home. I couldn't speak. Emma confessed through tears that Lily had been messaging him for over a year. He had fed her stories, made empty promises, cars, vacations, college tuition, all to win her affection. He painted me as a controlling outsider, the jealous stepdad trying to cut him out. And Lily, angry and confused, believed him. Emma had seen the messages. She read them, knew the manipulation, and said nothing. She didn't want to cause more drama. She hoped it would pass. But it didn't. Now Lily lives with him. And true to form, he's already breaking promises. No car, no dream trips. Already slipping into his old patterns. She's called Emma crying, angry, disillusioned. She wants to come back. Emma doesn't know what to do. As for me, I know exactly what to do. Nothing. I've grieved the family I thought I had. I've sat in therapy sessions unpacking years of emotional labor, betrayal, and heartbreak. I've walked the fog of grief that comes when you're erased from a child's life as if you never mattered. But I've also emerged with a quiet, unshakable truth. I was a good father. Not by title, not by biology, but by action, presence, and love. If being a real dad means showing up only when it's convenient, then I'm proud I never earned that label. I didn't disappear. I stayed. I gave. I built something from nothing. Even if Lily never sees it, I know what I gave, and that's enough.